Hello my bunnies, it's Tiki's Trinkets here, and today I have for y'all another polymer clay tutorial. Today we are going to be making a Finding Nemo inspired cake topper, which you already know from the thumbnail. This was requested by this person's channel right here, and they requested a Dory type sculpture, so I decided to make it just the whole Finding Nemo thing and include Marlin and Dory from Finding Nemo. You know, Marlin, the dad, not Nemo, not the son. Anywho, and I think this actually came out pretty good. Let me hold this. I think this actually came out really good for it being my first ever fish kind of cake topper I've done. My ring is so loose. I don't know if I've lost weight or if it's just too loose. But yeah, I also painted the paint kind of like wavy, so it looks like waves, so I'm really proud of that. And these are just, I didn't like really mention it much in the video, but these are just buttons I got from Joann's. You can get them from Joann's, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, online, wherever you feel like it. And then I also got these, like the little plastic beads to put as the eyes. I got those from Hobby Lobby as well. You can also use Swarovski crystals if you don't want to have to take them out before baking. It's all up to you. And I also use paint for the black detailing in the video, but if you want to, you can use clay for that too. I just prefer paint for itty bitty details. But yeah, I think this came out pretty good. This will be available for sale on my Etsy shop very soon. Just not quite yet because I'm still working on photos for it. I have a new photo box, if I haven't mentioned that before, and my fiance got it for me for Valentine's Day. So yay! And it's really amazing, and I use it for literally everything now. But yeah, that is the video. Next week's video will be a monthly artist feature, as always at the end of the month. Technically it should have been this week, but this request came first, so I decided to do this first. And then after that, I want to get back to some more original art. I know I've done a lot of rings lately, but that's what's been blowing up on my Etsy shop, so it's been a ring party. I do want to try to get back to making some sculptures, though, so I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be some kind of original art. I have a few ideas of what series I want to go with next, but I haven't really picked out for sure which one I want to go with absolutely yet, so we'll see. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in next week's video, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Love you guys so much. Bye-bye, my bunnies. Alright, for this tutorial, I'm using a wooden base, the buttons I mentioned prior, orange clay, yellow clay, white clay, and turquoise blue. The orange is just orange, literally, that's the color. And we're going to start with the orange. We're going to start with making Marlin. We're going to roll out a big ball for the body, and then 2 for the top fins and 2 for the side fins. The body we're going to start by rolling into a chunky teardrop shape. Try to make it as chunky as you can. And then we're going to take the back end of it, the more narrow end, and pinch it with your thumb and index finger so it's nice, high, and tight. Then after that, kind of give it a little smash on your desk so that it'll be flat on the bottom but still chunky on the top. Once you're done with that, then take your index finger and thumb and kind of press them together like you're giving it a good pinch so that he has eye sockets, is what I like to call it. Some indentations where the eyes will go. Then I set it on the base and make sure I liked how the size was going, and then we can go ahead and move on to the fins. I started with these balls. They're actually way too big, so take these size balls and cut it in half and use that for the fins. But you're going to see that I did it anyways. You learn from your mistakes. I flattened them out after I rolled them into balls, cut them in half, only kept the halves that looked nicer. Then I used my X-Acto blade to indent lines on the front and the back because his fins have lines, ridges, I would say, on the front and the back. Dory has the same actually too. And then I put these on top, and you can see they are significantly smaller now. And then we're going to move on to the next 2 fins, which similar, these were a little bigger than I needed. So kind of dumb it down a little bit on the size. We're going to roll these into a teardrop shape, then press it down flat, and then just go ahead and cut the excess off. That's why you see the one rolled and then the other one unrolled. To kind of give you a good idea of what I'm explaining. Next, I use my Loctite super glue to glue on the wings. Then I did all the little lines on the tail, and make sure you do it on all the fins as well, inside and out. Then I use my little cutter tool to indent a cute little smile on his face. I use the same one for Dory too, but just in a different expression. And speaking of Dory, now we're moving on to Dory. Make sure you wash your hands before you move to blue, or orange will be all over your blue. We're going to roll out 3 balls, 1 for the body and the part of the tail, and then the 2 for the side fins. Dory doesn't quite have as much, like blue parts. Then I rolled it out into a teardrop, but unlike the other one, this time we're just going to take it and press it down gently with the palm right away so that it's kind of round on both sides. Try not to push it too hard. Then after it's done like that, make sure it's nice and smooth, and then press it down on the back so it has more of an arch. And then we're going to cut off the excess because Dory is a very odd shape. It's hard to explain that, but I hope that helps some. Next, I indented the line on both sides just like that, and then I cut ridges going back towards the back. Again, this is just some small detailing Dory has if you've never paid too close attention. Then I showed the ball before and after. You're just going to take these same two balls and roll them in the teardrop shapes. Then you're going to roll them out flat, but not too flat. And then to make the little fin pieces on Dory's fins, they're kind of at a weird angle, so I took the curve tool and just kind of cut it at an angle here. You can kind of see what I'm saying? And then I cut the tip parts off and made them flat. That way we can glue it onto the body easy. Next, we're going on to the yellow clay, and we're going to make the fin pieces we need now. So we need 3 balls. We're going to start with the bigger one in the back, and as always, roll it into a teardrop shape because that makes the world go teardrop shape, not round, teardrop shape. Then we're going to roll that out flat because that's my second favorite shape, flat. And then we're going to cut the tip off, and then we're going to indent the edges at the far left, and then after that add the lines on the front and back. Then go ahead and stick it on Dory's body. Angle it how you like. You don't have to use the poses I use. Then I took a little bit of extra yellow clay that I didn't mention on both sides, just 2 small balls, flattened them out on the body, and blended it into the tail, because she's got a little extra yellow there. Next, ignore that. Our family's just having cramps apparently. Lord bless it. And after I rolled them out, I flattened them out, stuck them onto the fins right here, and then again we're going to cut off the excess using that rounded tool, like such. And then I also indented it by rolling my little rolling tool onto it, just so that they're curved inward. Then we're going to do the lines again, because there's lines all over these fins. Then I use my Loctite super glue to glue it onto the body. And now we're going to make Dory's adorable little expression. For the open mouth, do 1 cut at the top and then 1 cut at the bottom where they meet at the arches of the mouth. And then just pull out the excess like I did there. Now we're moving on to white. Wash your hands thoroughly before you move on to white, or it will catch every single ounce of dust in your life. Then I rolled out a ball, a pretty big ball, probably like 2-inch ball. Rolled it out, cut it into a rectangle, cut that rectangle into 3 rectangular strips. Then I wrapped them all around Nemo. Dory does not have white, so this is only for Nemo. Look, now I'm calling him Nemo. This is only for Marlin. Then I put the eyes in where I know they needed to be, or made sure they needed to be. Then I took the eyes out because they're plastic. Like I said, you can't bake plastic. Then I cleaned them with rubbing alcohol, 50%. And then after that, that's what they look like. And then we're going to bake these bad boys in the oven for 350 degrees for 12 minutes. If you use an electric oven, you only need about 9 minutes. It doesn't take long if you're using Sculpey 3. Then we're going to use this. I got this like diamond tool for diamond paintings to help me pick up these beads easier. That way when I glue them into the eye sockets, I'm not getting glue all over my fingers. Then I took acrylic paint and painted the vase. Now it's a vase apparently. See how I did the waves? It doesn't show up much after it's dried and everything, but it was just so cute. Next, I took black to do the fine detailings, which I'm not going into depth. Here we go. That is it. Use a reference photo and just paint the lines on using a reference photo. That is the best I can tell you. And try not to be sloppy. Then I used E6000 to glue Dory and Marlin and the shell and the starfish to the base. Let that dry thoroughly before. Let the paint dry, then let the glue dry, then glaze it and let that dry. And then you're done. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video or got some entertainment out of me being a real hoot. And I will see you guys in next week's video. Bye-bye, my bunnies.